Reading music for the guitar can be made much easier by utilizing the knowledge of intervals we have discussed. Most other instruments have only one choice of where to play a note. Stringed instruments have multiple choices. The guitar is tuned in such a way so as to be able to play as many members of a chord as possible, considering the anatomy of the hand. Music for the guitar is written in the treble or G clef. There are 5 lines to start with, but more lines are added as needed for notes that fall outside the range of the 5 lines. The lowest note on the guitar is the open E of the 6th string. The notation of the note is just underneath the 3rd added ledger line as shown. The areas between the lines are called spaces. The spaces progress up through the diatonic circle of thirds in the key of C as shown. This circle is simply every other note of the C major scale. The note centered on the 3rd ledger line is F. We remember that F is a half step up from E. The lines also progress up through the circle of thirds. Traditionally, guitarists who read music are expected to memorize all of the notes of these lines and spaces in 7 different positions on the guitar. It's almost like learning 7 different instruments. We are going to keep and expand our knowledge of the 0 or same pitch interval and work from 2 approaches that come together as one. The first approach is to learn the notes, or at least follow the logic to arrive at the notes, in the open position. The open position is where we use the open notes for 6 of the notes we play. So we are right down next to the nut of the neck. We are working only in the key of C, remembering that we can sharp by going up a half step and flat by going down a half step. Remembering that all of the notes in the key of C are a whole step apart except E to F and B to C are half steps, and studying this diagram of which open notes on the guitar correspond with the lines and spaces of the staff, we can quickly arrive at all of the notes in the open position. On the 6th string, we go up a half step from E to F, and then up a whole step to G. We could continue up, but for now we will continue and play A as open A on the A string. On the 5th or A string, we continue up a whole step to the open A, and then go up a whole step to B, and up a half step to C. On the 4th string, we continue up a whole step with open D, then up a whole step to E, and up a half step to F. On the 3rd string, we continue up a whole step to open G, and up a whole step to A. Because of the G to B tuning, we go up a whole step from A to B on the next string. From open B, we go up a half step to C. and then up a whole step to D. On the first string, we continue a whole step from D to open E, a half step to F, and a whole step to G. We will continue up a whole step to A, leaving the traditional open position. From here we go up a whole step to B, and then a half step to C. We continue up a whole step to D, a whole step to E, and a half step to F. So now we've established the notes in the key of C in the open position and up the neck on the first string. We are going to use some notation used in classical guitar that can come in handy to easily identify all of the possible zero or same note intervals for each of these notes. The circled number represents the string the note will be played on. The Roman numeral is the number of frets up away from the nut. We'll start from the lowest string on the guitar, the low open E on the sixth string. Of course, we can see that the open E and the neighboring notes F and G cannot be duplicated, but you can get used to the classical notation and what it means. In the open position, we can start duplicating pitches as we ascend once we reach the open A on the fifth string. This A, as shown, can also be played on the sixth string and fifth fret. The B on the fifth string, second fret, can also be played on the sixth string and the seventh fret. The C on the fifth string, third fret, can also be played on the sixth string, eighth fret. We can arrive at a relationship here that as we go to the next lower string in pitch to play the same note, the fret number will increase by 5. That is because if we count up to 5 half steps and then drop 5 half steps, by going to the next lower string, we are at 0 again, which is the same pitch interval. Of course, between the G and B strings, we only count up to 4 half steps and then drop 4 half steps to 0 by going down from the B string to the G string. Follow along as we continue with the fourth, third, second, and first strings.